It has been very pleasing to me to see so many persons commenting and expressing themselves and giving reasons why they think West Indies lost the third T20 internationals. This shows to me that the interest in West Indies cricket is alive and well. There are some persons, when they're zealous, have gone as far as to criticize even Nicholas Pooran for chipping to Kuldeep Yadav at that time. Equally, there have been many suggestions as to who should play in the fourth match. If these suggestions were to be followed, the variety of suggestions that have come forward, if they were to be followed, we would probably have a brand new playing 11 for the fourth T20 International in Florida. I must remind you, however, that it was these players who have won the first two T20 internationals. Therefore, I remain confident, positive, and optimistic. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the show. Thank you for being here. Please slash a like on the video and click on the subscribe button. I really hope you are hearing me loud and clear. I was just about 10 minutes late, but I apologize. I was getting something to eat. Now, there are 1,000,001 reasons that have been given why West Indies lost the third T20 international. And before I pick my team, I just want to say, despite all the reasons that have been given, despite the myriad of reasons that have been given, in my opinion, and there are more that I could have been listed, but when I dug deep into it, and I assessed everything, the three that I settled on, and I think that these were the three reasons why we lost the match. First, I think winning the toss was not good for us. Initially, I thought that winning the toss and batting was the right decision, because I believe at the time that the pitch was going to get lower and slower as the day goes by. But I did not take the atmospheric conditions, the weather, into consideration when I was coming to that conclusion. And so Sheldon Smith was right. We should have batted second because there was a chance of rain and the pitch would not have dried out as we would have expected. I think that was one of the main reasons. Batting first was one of the main reasons. The second reason why I think we really lost that match was the tactics of Pandya. I think he captained the side well in this third T20 international. His tactics was, as long as Pooran was not batting, he was going to bowl the spinners. And we saw where King and Myers and Charles were at sea. And so he bowled his spinners as long as those two were batting. And he kept back Kuldeep Yadav, because as a left-arm Chinaman googly bowler, Kuldeep Yadav is like a half-break bowler to the left-hander. He's turning away from the left-hander. And so he kept back Kuldeep Yadav and as the only spinner that was going to bowl to Pooran. And so because Charles and King and Myers were batting early, he was able to get 4 overs out of Aksar Patel and 3 out of Chahal, even before Pooran comes to the crease. So he has got rid of those. If Pooran had come to the crease earlier, he would have bowled his 3 pacers. And I think that will be the same strategy of the Indian team going forward. And the third reason why I believe we lost that match was Sky. Suryakumar Yadav, the world #1 T20 batsman, just came to the crease and showed his class. It was simple as that. Suryakumar Yadav came to the crease and he showed his class. And I think that was the three main reasons. Despite the myriad of reasons, as I said, that I could come up with and that I've saw in the comments and persons have called me and talked to me about, I think those were the three main reasons why we lost the match. Now to my playing 11 for tomorrow. And it took me long and hard to decide on this playing 11. Especially, I expect Older to return. And as you see there, I'm going with the same 11 that won the first two matches, except for Shy Hope in place of Charles. I consider this playing 11 very long and hard. In fact, it was less than an hour ago I removed Chase and put in Obed McCoy. Chase bowling 4 overs for 28 runs. In that third ODI, you will take that every day. Every day, you will take that. Although at no stage did he look threatening to get a wicket, his economy of 7 runs per over is world-class against a world-class Indian batting lineup, especially Tilka Varma, Yadav, Pandey. These guys were batting when Chase was bowling, so his performance was credible. I even look at the fact that Odin Smith last year, same place in Fort Lauderdale at Lauderhill, what was then his best bowling performance for the West Indies at the time, that it happened right there. And having done so well against India in that T20 international match last year at Fort Lauderdale, the final match, I even considered if I should use Odin Smith. So I did think long and hard about this playing 11. But I also know that your playing 11 may be different from mine, and you're welcome to put your playing 11 in the chat. I said it earlier, the number of playing 11 that I've seen for the fourth match, none of these players would be in some of those playing 11. Now, I think the Indian will go into the match with the same team. I don't think they will make any change. 3 spinners, 3 pace bowlers. Their strategy is solely around one man to me, and that is Nicholas Pooran. If Pooran bats early, they are going to bowl the 3 pacers to him. If he doesn't bat early, they are going to bowl the leg spinners to who are batting because they think that the other batsmen cannot deal with the spin as good as Nicholas Pooran. So that's my playing 11 for tomorrow, for Saturday's match. Let now me look in the chat and see what your playing 11 is like and what are your thoughts. Hello, everyone. I didn't know that you are from St. Elizabeth teaching sports at Magati High School. Yes, I'm not from St. Elizabeth, but I was teaching sports at Magati High School. But I was teaching sport. The 4T20 should be very interesting. I think so too. And Blair's continued. Chase shouldn't be in the 4T20 because he's not a good spin bowler. I don't know why Desmond Haynes and Rowan Butcher is pushing him. That spin bowler from Jamaica should get a game. Okay. Garth Lewis is saying Johnson Charles and Ruston Chase should be dropped for Hope and Sinclair. But Sinclair is not in the squad, Garth Lewis. So maybe you want to put somebody else instead of Sinclair. Sinclair is not in the 15-man squad that is presently in Fort Lauderdale. Edmeyer is failing at 6. We need to put him at 3 and see what happens. The man has a lot of talent, and I feel like he's being wasted at 6. So yeah, it's okay for give your opinion, and maybe that switch is needed. A word on Edmeyer. I clearly don't think that the West Indies should drop Edmeyer. I think they should let him play. He has so much talent that he should play. And maybe batting him at number 3 is maybe an idea, a good idea. Maybe something that West Indies could try. And I don't have any issue with a comment like this from Garth Lewis. Now, just that Edmeyer is brought up here, there's one particular comment I saw from someone. And those are the comments that let me wonder, what are we thinking? The person said Edmeyer is making some valuable 9 runs. That is, 9 runs have been extremely valuable to the West Indies. 9 runs. And those comments, you wonder, what's the origin? What's the agenda of those comments? But I understand the point that Garth Lewis is making there. I would not necessarily have an issue with Ed Meyer coming up the order and batting at number 3. I definitely don't think we should drop him. So I would not have an issue with there's just a change if you could get more out of him. Mark Edo, the most runs that Ed Meyer made for the West Indies in T20 cricket and in ODI cricket is batting at number 4. Hope should come in, and Sinclair, like God said, have Chase. And yes, I agree, but Sinclair is not there. He's not in the 15-man squad, so he's not going to play. Chase and Charles out, Sinclair and Hope and Mutty. No, but we cannot continue to name players to play tomorrow who are not in Florida in the 15. So I appreciate you making changes. And I know that, as I said earlier, if we look at all the suggestions, some of the players who won the first 2 T20 internationals would not be in the team. But be reminded, we can only pick the 11 from the 15 that are in Fort Lauderdale. And St. Clair, Mutty, they are not in Fort Lauderdale. Up to the latest update that I got from Cricket West Indies, these guys were not in the squad. So unless there's a change, as it stands right now, to the best of my knowledge, these guys are not in the squad, so they will not be in the 11. Juna Davis, welcome to the show. The cricketer name is Sinclair, not Sinclair. Thank you for that, Juna Davis. Davis is not my spelling. Patrick McKay saying it's not my spelling. Okay. Oh, I see. Don't feel no way. I want to see Jerry McAllister. Did Jerry McAllister get any pick for the T20 franchise competition? It is left to be seen. Play Saturday. Yeah, we are playing Saturday. SOS, you were right. As I said earlier, I think that, as you said on Tuesday, the rainfall and speed up the pitch and prevent it from drying out. So you were right there. Good day, Cricket Forum, Rutherford. We be taken away from us if we are not careful. Now the issue, SOS, we need to put Rutherford thing into perspective. And I wasn't going to speak about Rutherford. I was going to speak about it. And I will speak about it later because I'm going to answer Brian H. question. CIE, they lost because they opted to bat first and couldn't put runs on the board. That is true. We couldn't put runs on the board. It doesn't matter what the condition. We never put runs on the board. So that's a statement of fact. T20 is not a game that you should bat first. Any card can play. But we always heard that runs on the board is runs on the board, though. You know, so it's just different opinions coming in. Rain, speed up wicket. You're right, SOS. You're right. We cannot have Charles, Myers, King in same team. Say 2, put Pooran at 3. I would have definitely batted Pooran at 3, especially on Tuesday. I called for that after the 55-run opening partnership between Myers and King. I had expected Pooran to bat at 3. And the Indian team were very happy when Pooran never came at 3 because they were able to continue with Aksar and Chahal and get those overs out of the way before Pooran comes to the wicket. Please remember to slash a like at the video and click at that subscribe button. So the campaign for Ed Meyer at 3 continues, which I have no issue with. I have no issue with anyone's opinions. Myers and Kings need to pick up the Indian spinners better through Mr. Casanova one and get us off to a flyer in the power play because I believe Lauderhill will be a high-scoring ground. Yes, it is a high-scoring ground and we could see 180, 185. Michael Smith, good morning, teacher. Good morning. How are you doing, Michael Smith? Welcome to the show. Glad to have you here. I would replace Charles with Hope at number 3, then Pooran, Powell, and Ed Meyer. Yes, Mr. Cassova, that is my playing 11. SOS Music is saying it is too late to bring in Rutherford. Okay. Victor Downey, welcome to the show. How are you? They to be dropped into retirement. And I said it, that some persons think the entire team should be dropped. You know, Chase bowled very well, in my opinion. He bowled better than Hussein in the last game. He did, because Hussein 4 overs went for 31 runs. Chase 4 overs went for 28 runs. As I said, it was just about an hour ago, or even less than an hour, that I removed Chase from my playing 11. Because I gave him, last night he was in my playing 11. But this morning I just decided I'm going with the team that won the first 2 matches. And that is why Chase is not in my playing 11. But he deserved to be in the playing 11. So Anthony Evans is naming his team: King, Myers, Etmire, Pooran, Powell, Shepherd, Older, Smith, Hussein, Joseph, and McCoy. So that's the team. The all-round batting balance is there, and there's no additional bowling option. Okay, Anthony Evans. So there's Anthony Evans' team on the screen. Just a minute. Shari O. So that is CIE team there on the screen. He also has Thomas and McCoy in it, Simit, Akil, Hussein. So he has Shepherd. So that's his team on the Fierce Care. Shea Hope is for Charles and Odin Simit for Ruston. So Fierce Care again given another option. As I said, Fierce Care, I think about Odin Simit a lot in place of Chase because of his performance there last year. You know, so it was really difficult which one of the 3 to play: Obed McCoy, Chase, or Odin Simit. And I just came down on the side of Obed McCoy. So I would understand if someone should come down on the side of Chase or Odin Simit. I would have no issue with that because it took me a very long time. Shea playing the ball with his chest, not the bat. I think, and I want to say this about Shea Hope. Shea Hope or Shy Hope, whatsoever you call him, is going to be a big surprise in this year's CPL. Shea Hope, and I said it here, Shea Hope will be one of the stars of this year's CPL. He's going to have a good average and he's going to have a good strike rate. He's going to be a revelation. And I'm telling you, remember, you heard it here first. Shea Hope is going to be a revelation in this year CPL. I am telling you that. And you can bet on it. Charles batting with his chest, not good enough. Charles should not, I don't think that Charles should be in the team. You know, somebody said to me why I hate Charles. I don't hate Charles. So I just have to ask the person, when you pick your 11 for the West Indies, does it mean that the other persons that you leave out, you hate them? Does that what it mean? The person is asking me what I have against Charles. Charles made 100 in South Africa, so he should be in the team. And I said to the person, Chris Gayle made 2 centuries for the West Indies. Should he still be in the team in T20 cricket? Should he still be in the team? Charles made 100 in South Africa, fine. And I think that he should have played, my opinion on it, he should have played the first match in this series. It was 50-50 whether he should play the second match or not for me. The third match, he definitely should not have played it. So he got 1 match too many. And that is my opinion on the issue. He got 1 match too many. I don't think Charles should be in the team for the 4th match. And it's not because I hate him. It is not because I have anything against him. Our friend from India tuning in. Shea Open, Charles out. My opening next match. I hope so too. I really hope that would be the change that I'll make. They was batting in the power play like they wanted to draw a test match. And India used up 8 overs that Pooran could not face. Pooran should have been sent up at 3 after a slow power play. Thank you. I agree with you, General. I agree with you. Older still injured. My understanding that it was not a nigger and he will be fit to play on Saturday. That's my understanding. Replace the top 3, bring in Hope, call up Rutherford, and put Akil Hussein to open. So SOS there now. SOS just giving another opinion. Only changes I would make is Hope for Charles and Older for Chase. Those are the 2 changes that I made, Dean. Those are the 2 changes that I made. Clement Royal. Rutherford is the 2nd best 2020 player. Get him in the team. Clement Royal, the statistics doesn't agree with that. I want to see King running more through Anthony Evans. I want to see that too. His strike rate was around 160 at the end of the PP, but dropped to around 100 when he got out softly. He looks a bit lazy at the crease. He always have that languidness about him. But I agree with you, Evans. He should run more. Sheldon, you were right. West Indies should have batted first on Tuesday. You were right. You were dead right, Sheldon. They should have batted first. Hope will make more runs in any game. Yeah, Hope will make more runs in any game. I don't see him as a good test player, though. Barrington Clark, good morning, Dr. Brown. Good morning to you, Barrington Clark. I agree, Fancase, and I agree. Been saying that for a while. Shea Hope gonna show that he deserves a spot at 3 in T20. He's going to be a revelation. I have no doubt about it. And you can take that to the bank. You can bet on it. Shea Hope is going to be a revelation in this year CPL. Charles was sweeping too when the spinners were bowling stump to stump. Line, I could sense his wicket was coming. He was better off playing vertical shots. Thank you for that. So Sheldon is saying now, the West Indies are going to be facing spin up front as they are keeping pace for Pooran. And so that's why you need to put Pooran up front, put him at 3. You need to put him at 3 and said, India, play your card. But I did say that, Sheldon. I did say they're going to play the same team, and once Pooran is batting, it will be pace. If Pooran is not batting, they're going to bowl the 2-leg spinner, that is Aksar Patel, who's a slow left-arm orthodox spinner, and the right-arm leg spinner, Chad. They're going to save back Kuldeep Yadav, who is a left-arm Chinaman googly bowler. That means he's turning the ball away from the left-hander, and they're going to save him. They're going to save him for Pooran. Holly Hayder I think Holly Hayder is from Australia. How would you see the decision of Powell winning the toss and elected to bat when everybody knew that there was a weather run? Yes, at first I agreed with the decision. But like a legend of this chat, Sheldon Smith, had said that was the wrong decision. But I agree with Sheldon. I agree with you now. That should have been taken into consideration because it was the rain on the pitch. That's why it never slowed down and kept low as one was expected. And in this modern day of cricket, we need to look at all aspects of the game and prepare for what is coming. So Ali Ader, my friend from Australia, you're right. Come on, people. Rutherford only perform in leagues that are full of useless players. So Bobby Bonds there. Bobby Bonds, welcome to the show. Thank you. Captain win the 3rd match. India uses spin. Yes, Abdullah. Yes, the captain did well. I said it that one of my 3 reasons, one of the 3 main reasons why I think India won that match was the toss, the tactics of Pandya, and Sky. He played a blinder. If Shea Hope can be consistent in T20, we are going to be a much better team going forward. He's going to prove it. Mr. Casanova, I'm going to say it again. He's going to prove it. It looks like the neighbor lights some fire and the smoke is bothering me a lot. Charles is not in form and should be dropped. Some of these people who feel like because he got 100 is in South Africa, he shouldn't be dropped. Glenn Sinclair, I agree with you 100%. That 100 in South Africa was 5 matches ago. When you had up the total score that he has made in the 4 innings since then, it does not add up to 20. 0-5, 12, 0-3, 12, which is 15. And it was less than 5 in the next one. I don't quite remember. But all 4 scores does not add up to 20. And he should be dropped. Simic should open with Myers for more aggression and King Hope at number 3. If Simic can face 4 overs of the power play, that will give us a huge push and open the road for Pooran. That will definitely give us a big push if it works. And so Ted Budham is just giving another opinion, which we welcome. So Bobby Bonds is saying, Hetty should be bat at number 3 to counter-attack the Kulbi bullet. Put Hope 4 and Pooran 5. But Hope is also a very good batsman of spin. And that is another reason why Hope should definitely be in that team. You know, it should definitely be in that team. I have seen more and more suggestions coming in that Ed Meyer should bat at number 3.
And maybe that's something that Cricket West Indies could look into for this match. Please remember to slash a like on the video and click on the subscribe button. First, I want to say something else. The mishap in Guyana, you would recall that I said to you that the umpire, in my understanding, is that the ground was turned over to the umpires at least 1 hour before the start of the match. And it is then their responsibility to check to ensure that everything is in place. Now, I have sought clarification on this. And the clarification that I've gotten is that as long as the umpire reached the ground, he is now in charge of the playing area. That is the understanding. So as soon as the match official reach there, they are in charge. So while the Guyanese organizers and the groundsmen got it wrong, the umpires doing their due diligence should have recognized that there was no 30-yard circle and should have asked the groundsmen to put it in place. So the groundsmen got it wrong, but the umpires were neglectful in their duty to ensure that the playing area is ready for play. So that's the situation on the mishap in Guyana. The next thing that I want to look at is to answer Brian H. question, and I've seen a number of it in the chat that Rutherford should come into the team. Rutherford have played 6 T20 matches for the West Indies. His average in those 6 matches is 10.75. His strike rate is 119. Nothing to write home about. When Rutherford played in the top 5 T20 franchise league in the world, except for 1 year in the CPL, I'm not talking about, for want of a better term, the second tier T20 leagues. I am talking about the top 5. And you can do your own research and you can check it yourself. When he played in those top 5 leagues, except for 1 year in the CPL, and I think it was not last year, the year before, except for that 1 year, his average in T20 franchise top tier leagues, the 5 leagues, is 11.26. Personally, I do not see the crave for Rutherford to be included in the West Indies team looking at those statistics. I hope that he comes good in this year's CPL. Last year, he only have 1 score of substance. I hope he comes good in this year's CPL. I think Rutherford, like Edmire, or someone like Shubman Gill from India, should be given as many chances as possible to prove themselves. And I think he's staying with the team from St. Kitts and Nevis. I hope they give him as many chances as possible to prove himself. I wish him all the success and hope that he have a brilliant and a wonderful CPL this year. I really do. But for right now, I would not have him in the West Indies team. The third thing that I want to say this morning quickly is that on Saturday, the West Indies Under-17 Rising Star Cricket Competition for boys will start in Trinidad. If you are in Trinidad, please go out and watch these matches. I thank you all for tuning in today. Please slash a like on the video and click on the subscribe button. And have a great day. I have still not yet heard any word on the accreditation. Maybe at this time, I will not be in Florida. I am very disappointed about it, but it's what it is. Whether I am in Florida or not, I'll be here with you Saturday morning for the 4th T20 internationals between India and the West Indies. God bless. Have a wonderful day. And remember, your relationship with God and your family are the 2 most important things in this world. Have a great day.